Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Pettisville versus Northwood. I think we better get ready for some cranial combat. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game, Pettisville versus Northwood. Let's meet our team. Starting off with Northwood, tell us who you are.
I'm Caleb Robles, I'm a senior. To my right is Arden Stevenson, a senior. To my left is Charlie Carroll, a junior.
All right, who you coached by?
We're coached by Mr. Myers.
All right, welcome to Northwood. Pettisville, tell us who you are.
I'm Sam Myers, a senior. On my left is Renee Hoylman, a senior. And on my right is Elise Hoylman, a senior. And we are coached by Miss Civic.
All right, welcome to both of our teams. Going to start things off in our toss-up round. In this round, there are 10 questions. There were 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so have a little bit of fun and maybe even take a guess if you think you might have it. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Northwood, Pettisville, you ready? Here we go. Euclid used a collapsible one that most of us would find difficult to draw with. What is this mathematical tool still used today to draw a perfect circle? That would be Northwood. Caleb.
A compass.
A compass is correct. Perfect circles. The publishing of which 20th century literary work gave wide currency to the term Okie as a slang reference to the inhabitants of the state of Oklahoma? The Grapes of Wrath is what we needed there. Although Elias Howe was given the first patent of this invention, American inventor Isaac Singer improved upon it and mass-produced the first commercial machines. What was this useful invention? Pettisville, Sam.
Sewing machine.
A sewing machine indeed. Both teams on the board. During his tenure as leader of the Soviet Union, which Nobel Peace Prize winner espoused the policy of openness known as glasnost among nations? That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev is correct. This gemstone formed from the resin of ancient pine trees. That would be Northwood. Caleb.
It was amber.
Amber is correct. Everyone knows that from Jurassic Park. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, provide the name of the Asian country that is home to the Caspian Sea and Lake Balkhash. That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Russia.
Incorrect. Northwood, would you like to steal? They're saying no. All right. Time on that one. Kazakhstan is what we needed there. Give the two-word phrase used summarily to designate the available genetic makeup in any given population. That would be Northwood. Arden.
Gene pool.
The gene pool is correct. What military expeditions by Christians in the 11th, 12th, and 13th, that would be Northwood. Arden.
Crusades.
They're the Crusades, yes. Identify the three-letter suffix that translates into, quote, doctrine, theory, or belief, end quote. Ism, I-S-M is what we needed there. Which role in Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton has, as of August 2016, been played by Leslie Odom Jr.? Sydney, that would be Pettisville. Renee.
Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is correct. And that is all 10 questions in the first round. Let's take a look at our score. Well, they don't get much closer than this. Pettisville, 30 points. Northwood, 40 points. That means you're going to want to stick around and see what happens next. I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's our risk and reward round. Stay tuned. welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Pettisville 30, Northwood at 40 points. Looks like both teams have decided to make a slight change in their lineup, starting with Northwood. Tell us who has joined your team.
Yep, so to my left is Liz, a sophomore.
All right, welcome to you. And Pettisville, who has joined your team?
To my right is Griffin Aish, a senior.
All right, welcome to our new players and all of our returning players. This is our risk and reward round. There are 9 questions in this round. Both teams will receive the same 9 questions. They're 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, of course. Our 10th question will be our risk and reward question. After all, that's the name of this round. We will give you a topic. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on that question based upon that topic. With a correct answer, you'll get those bonus points or those points. However, on that one question, you will lose points with an incorrect answer or a non-answer. But if you don't feel good about the topic, know that you do have the option to pass. All right, Pettisville, 30 points. Northwood, 40 points. Northwood, you're sticking around. Pettisville, right this way behind me. You're off to isolation. All right, Northwood, are you ready for your risk and reward round? Starts right now. Although not a wonder of the world, this Russian cathedral, whose construction was initiated by Ivan the Terrible, is considered a great historic landmark. Identify this Moscow structure. That is going to be Arden.
Notre Dame.
Incorrect. St. Basil's Cathedral, on the right track. Which federal act passed in 1883 has been called the Magna Carta of Civil Service Reform and legislates promotion within the system based on merit and competitive exam? That would be Arden again.
New Deal.
Incorrect. Pendleton Act is what we were looking for there. Identify the class of sedimentary rocks formed of rounded pebbles bound together in a finer matrix. In time? Nope. Conglomerate is what we needed there. Identify the science term that designates the halo of gases surrounding the nucleus of a comet. That would be Caleb.
The coma.
Correct. First explored by Gregor Mendel, which branch of biology is dedicated to the study of heredity? That would be Elizabeth.
Genetics.
Genetics is correct. Which disease reached Europe from the east in 1348, killing up to 1/2 of the population within 2 years? That would be Arden.
Black Death.
Black Death or the bubonic plague. Between 73 and 71 BC, this Thracian gladiator led the Great Slave Rebellion. Who was he? Time. That would be Spartacus. With an average population density of only 1.9 people per square mile, which Asian nation is the world's least densely populated? That would be Caleb.
Nepal.
Incorrect. Mongolia. Name this 7-letter verb that begins with an O and ends in an S, which means to crush by abuse of power or authority. Time. Oppress is what we were looking for there. All right, this is our risk and reward question. The topic is World War II. Northwood, would you like to risk anywhere between 5 and 30 points in 5-point increments, or would you like to pass on this topic?
10. All right, 10.
10 points. All right, Northwood is going for 10 points on this one. The topic is World War II. In 1939, which country did Germany invade, effectively prompting the beginning of World War II? That would be Elizabeth.
Poland.
Poland is correct. 10 points for you. It is the end also of the risk and reward round for you. So, Elizabeth, if you'd be so kind, lead your team off to isolation. All right, let's bring back in Pettisville. Welcome back from isolation, Pettisville. Are you ready for your risk and reward round? Starts right now. Although not a wonder of the world, this Russian cathedral, whose construction was initiated by Ivan the Terrible, is considered a great historic landmark. Identify this Moscow structure. I'm sorry, time. St. Basil's Cathedral is what we needed there. Which federal act passed in 1883 has been called the Magna Carta of Civil Service Reform and legislates promotion within the system based on merit and competitive exam? Time. That would be the Pendleton Act. Identify this class of sedimentary rocks formed of rounded pebbles bound together in a finer matrix. That would be Renee.
Marble.
Incorrect. Conglomerate is what we needed there. Identify the science term that designates the halo of gases surrounding the nucleus of a comet. That would be Griffin.
Comet trail.
Will we accept that? We cannot. We needed coma there. Coma. First explored by Gregor Mendel, which branch of biology is dedicated to the study of heredity? That would be Renee.
Genetics.
Genetics is correct. Which disease reached Europe from the east in 1348, killing up to 1/2 of the population within 2 years? That would be Sam.
Bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague or the Black Death, correct. Between 73 and 71 BC, this Thracian gladiator led the Great Slave Rebellion. Who was he? That would be Renee.
Spartacus.
That is correct. Spartacus. With an average population density of only 1.9 people per square mile, which Asian nation is the world's least densely populated? That would be Griffin.
Mongolia.
Mongolia is correct. Name this 7-letter verb that begins with an O and ends in an S, which means to crush by abuse of power or authority. That would be Renee.
Oppress.
Oppress is indeed what we were looking for. Risk and reward question time. The topic is World War II. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments, or you can pass. Pettisville, what are you thinking?
15.
15 points for Pettisville. World War II is the topic. Here is the question. In 1939, which country did Germany invade, effectively prompting the beginning of World War II? That would be Renee.
Poland.
Poland is correct. 15 more points for Pettisville. That is the end of the risk and reward round for you. It's now time to clear our scores, and let's bring back in Northwood. Welcome back to Northwood from isolation. Let's see where our teams stand against each other. Northwood has 80 points. Pettisville has 95 points. A very close competition indeed. Glad to see that both teams did indeed go for that risk and reward question. Looks like it's paying off for both of those teams. Still a very close competition. Coming up next, though, things are going to change very, very quickly. Category round starts next. 30 points questions, deduction start is going to be crazy. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Very close competition indeed. Some cranial combat going on, just like we said at the beginning of the show. Northwood 80 points and Pettisville at 95 points. Before we get to the next round, we have some returning players. So Caleb, just remind us who's rejoined your team.
Yep, so to my left is Charlie Carroll.
Right, welcome back to you. And Sam, who has joined the team again.
On my right, we have Elise.
All right, welcome to you. Arden and Renee, welcome back to you as well. All right, this is our category round. Power shifts now to you, the teams. There are 6 categories to choose from. Inside each category are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But this is where things get serious. That's right, serious, meaning deductions start now. So if you go for 25 points, you are risking 25 of your points at the same time. There is a double or nothing question in there which could be a game changer for one of our teams. And just a reminder, you may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Northwood, since you are at 80 points and trailing, you get to make the first selection.
We'll take Convert Me for 10.
Convert Me for 10 points. Convert 60 inches to feet. That would be Northwood. Caleb.
5 feet.
Correct. Northwood in control.
Convert for 15.
Convert for 15. Convert 8.5 feet to inches. That would be Northwood. Caleb.
102 inches.
Correct. Northwood still in control and has just taken the lead.
Convert for 20.
Convert me now for 20 points. Convert 3 years to days. That in time, Northwood. Caleb.
1,095 days.
Correct. And Northwood still in control.
Convert for 25.
Convert me now for 25 points. Convert 26 feet to yards. That would be Caleb.
8 2/3 yards.
Correct. Northwood still in control, owning this category.
Finish Convert Me.
Finishing off Convert Me for 30 points. Convert 2 miles to feet. That would be Caleb.
10,560 feet.
Correct. End of that category, but Northwood still in control.
Oh, medical for 10.
Medical abbreviations for 10 points. Identify the meaning of these medical abbreviations. What does the medical abbreviation BP stand for? That would be Pettisville. Renee.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure is correct. Pettisville, snatch back control.
Medical abbreviations 15.
Medical abbreviations for 15 points. What does the medical abbreviation LPN stand for? That would be Pettisville. Renee.
Licensed practitioner nurse.
Will we accept that? We cannot accept that. Northwood, would you like to steal? They're saying no. That is time. So close. Licensed practical nurse. So close, but we needed it to be very specific. All right, Pettisville in control.
Medical abbreviations 30.
Medical abbreviations now for 30 points. What does the medical abbreviation AFib stand for? Atrial fibrillation is what we needed there. Okay, Pettisville in control.
Famous fathers 30.
Famous fathers for 30 points. I will describe the discipline in which one person has been given the honor of or title of father. You identify the person. The father of chemistry. Time, that would be Robert Boyle. Pettisville still in control though.
Famous fathers 25.
Famous fathers now for 25 points. The father of medicine. Hippocratic Oath, Hippocrates is what we're looking for there. All right, Pettisville still in control.
Cooking terms 30.
Cooking terms now for 30 points. Given a definition and the first letter of the correct response, identify each term used in the culinary arts. The letter is P. To preserve meats, fruits, and vegetables in brine. That would be Northwood. Arden.
To pickle.
Indeed, to pickle. Northwood takes control.
Electricity 25.
Electricity for 25 points. This is our double or nothing question, again open to all buzzers. Safety device that protects an electric circuit from becoming overheated. That would be Pettisville.
Breaker.
Sam.
Breaker.
Will we accept breaker? We cannot accept breaker. That would be Caleb.
The fuse.
We needed fuse for that one. We needed a fuse. So that is double or nothing to Northwood. All right, next question. Oh, excuse me. Question goes to Pettisville. Or choice goes to Pettisville.
Odd one out, 30.
Odd one out for 30 points. I will read a series of words and give a category. You are to name the odd one out. Whales, monkeys, opossums, cormorants, and we're looking for mammals. That would be Northwood. Arden.
Cormorant.
Cormorant is what we need. Yes. Northwood in control. Odd one out for 25. Stone Mountain, Mount Rushmore, Cliffs of Dover, Crazy Horse, man-made monoliths. That would be Pettisville. Renee.
Crazy Horse.
Incorrect. Northwood, would you like to steal? That would be Arden.
Cliffs of Dover.
Cliffs of Dover. Yes, we're looking for the odd one out. Okay, Northwood in control.
Odd one out, 20.
All right, 20. Live oak, birch, cypress, maple, deciduous trees. That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Cypress.
Cypress is correct. Pettisville snatches back control. End of time, end of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Pettisville 85 points with Northwood currently in the lead with 265. One round left to go. It is our brainstorm round. Questions worth 20 points apiece. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Pettisville 135, Northwood 265 points. We had a scoring correction at the end of that last round, and that is where our two teams stand. Northwood, looks like someone has rejoined your team. Is that correct?
Yep. Liz to my left.
All right, welcome back to you. And Pettisville staying with your lineup from the last round. Welcome back to all of our returning players. This is the brainstorm round. All questions in this round are 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. That is known as all the marbles. You may confer before buzzing in, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot steal a question in this round. Northwood, Pettisville, you ready? Brainstorm starts right now. In what year did Ohio become a state? That would be Northwood. Arden.
1913.
Incorrect. 1803. Venezuela is home to the world's highest waterfall. Name this majestic landform. That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Iguazu Falls.
Incorrect. Angel Falls is what we needed there. When two quantities are compared using a quotient, what is being expressed? That would be Northwood. Caleb.
Division.
Incorrect. Ratio is what we needed there. This is a nerve cell that is specialized to receive and conduct electrical impulses. Name it. That will be Pettisville. Sam.
Neuron.
Neuron is correct. In what eastern state can you find the Green Mountains? That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Vermont.
Vermont is correct. Puxatawny gains national attention each February. In which state is it located? That would be Pettisville. Sam.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is correct. What famous Albert Einstein equation says that a very small amount of mass can be converted into a very Pettisville? Elise.
E equals mc squared.
E equals mc squared is correct. Which holiday is celebrated on the eve of All Saints' Day? That would be Northwood. Elizabeth.
Halloween.
Halloween is correct. On which side of the heart is the tricuspid valve located? That would be Northwood. Arden.
The right.
The right side is correct. Into what part of the digestive tract does the pancreas secrete digestive juices? I'm sorry, did you buzz in? Okay, I might not have cleared that. He go ahead and answer that question.
The large intestine.
Incorrect. Small intestine. In literature, what name is given to a brief story told to teach a lesson? That would be Northwood. Arden.
Anecdote.
Incorrect. Fable is what we needed there. Among the Japanese, this loose robe and wide sleeves is worn. That would be Pettisville. Renee.
Kimono.
Kimono is correct. Which element is added to iron to make steel? That would be Northwood. Caleb.
Carbon.
Carbon is correct. Including type and RH, which blood type is considered the universal donor? That would be Northwood. Elizabeth.
AB.
Incorrect. O negative is what we needed there. In chemistry, what name is given to the simplest whole end of round? Let's take a look at our score. What an effort. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. Pettisville, 215 points, and our winner with 225 points is Northwood. Let's give both these teams a round of applause. Great show. All right, now the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come around and meet in the middle. Shake hands or give a fist bump, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.